right.
We're going to do 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. This is part 4 of camp. First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. He therefore that despiseth not man, but Yahawah, who hath also given unto us his Holy Spirit, which is the Qadash. See? So when you despise Great Millstone and you despise what they're telling you, you're not really hating on them. You're hating the Lord. But you're going to pay for it. That's why you got to not be thinking no ill will towards these men. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. Second Timothy, or First Timothy? No, 2 Timothy. Salaki. Second Timothy, chapter 3, verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in the Mashiach Yahawashi. All Scripture is given by inspiration of Yahawah, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yahawah may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. And of course, we're going to go off. We're in the simple flesh. But there's a way how righteous men do it. We hate being in iniquity. We hate being sinful. Okay, we hate being that way. You know? We don't find joy in being sinful. Jake don't give a fuck about nothing. He don't care if he's sinful as shit. That's the difference, man. You know, we feel remorse and we feel sorrow when we go off. We feel fear and want to change, man. So we're gonna do the Romans 12:2. This is one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 12:2. We're going to do verse 1, 2. You know, I have a lot of favorite scriptures. This is one of my favorite scriptures. I like it. Like it said that this is a light affliction what he did to us. This is why we're supposed to be doing this. Romans chapter 12 verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahawah, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahawah, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect, and perfect will of Yahawah. See, that's what we're supposed to be doing. For I say, this is verse 3, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. Well, I'm a fucking fry cook, so I don't think myself highly to be for shit. But to think soberly, talking about understand what time we're in, understanding the doctrine, and also not being a drunkard, doesn't mean you can't have a couple drinks. That's not what it means. It's not talking about that. If you drink in moderacy, you're fine. As of right now, you know, we're not supposed to really be drinking during the Passover anyways. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to be drinking, you know? So, but like I said, it's rehearsing the righteous acts. So, you know, when it comes to drinking, doing the wine during the service, that's different, man. That's something that you're doing spiritually to the Lord to partake in his suffering, you know, and keeping that mindset of seriousness all year to the best of your abilities. You know, Jake want to play around and have fun. You're not here to play around. Not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according to Yahawah have dealt to every man the measure of faith. See? He gave us all a different measurement of faith. Some of us have more faith than others, depending on what God cast them in their lot. When it said, Father, forgive them, for they not understand what they do. And then he cast lots. He said, you're going to be this guy, you're going to be this person for me, you're going to be this person for me. And that's what's going to play out. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of Yahawah into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So when that talks about that, that's talking about people are worshiping Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and not worshiping Yahawashi and Yahawashi. And when you go in Genesis, it said before the angel said, let's make men in our image. Before that, he said, let's make every living thing that creepeth upon earth, every living creature. Well, is it right here? It shows creature, and the creature is who? Esau, Edom. They worshiping the so-called white man. He's a creature. So see, there was creatures all in the earth. There was more than just Adam and Eve in the garden. He just gave dominion to Adam and Eve. But who receives dominion? When we look at Colossians, he Who gets dominion over everything? Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. So that's why he gave dominion to Adam, because Adam was Yahawashi. That's why he was given dominion. He's not going to give his dominion to anybody other than himself. It's just like this. If you made a whole damn city, would you name it after another man? Would you say, hey, I'm going to name it after you and you can have the glory? No, you're going to name it after you because you made the city. Well, that's how the Lord was. And when you look into Genesis, how Apostle Atha explained it, when you look up that word, when God created the heaven and the earth, that word God is plural. Okay, those were the elect, the first fruits, who built the earth with the Lord. Okay? We don't know who they are, but we know that great millstone has their doctrine that's been passed down from Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Lord will be part of that number. But that is the Lord's governing body. That's the governing body of the Lord. Okay? Now, whether you want to accept it or not. Some in there are going to stay, some are going to go. So it don't matter whether you do the righteous acts or not. What matters is if the Lord chose you when it comes down to it. When it really comes down to it, and the end of everything, the only thing that matters is if the Lord chose you since the dawn of time. That's it. Nothing is going to save us. No matter what we do, we can do anything, and you still might not get saved from the destruction coming. I could do all this and not make it, but I got a way better shot than Jake. I know that. Now we're going to do Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 21. Give me a second. Look out of your pocket. Ecclesiasticus is actually Sirach. Phone out here. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 21. Seek not the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength, but what is commanded thee. Think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. See? So you got all these other doctrines and all these other teachers in other camps. They're going around teaching all this junk that's not necessary. You know, just like Watching for Israel had a 6-hour breakdown of just a whole bunch of just bullshit. You're supposed to teach the doctrine, man. You don't need to know nothing else but what's going to save you. What's the point of knowing everything else unless the Lord wants you to know it? What's the point? You know? Now, if you're wanting to be, you know, if the Lord's put the Spirit on you to be somebody who goes out to the highways and byways and to teach, yeah, you want to know some things, but you want to know them in the measurements of the Lord, you know? And if, honestly, if I would have came into the truth 4 years ago, I would have been like one of them brothers who didn't teach for 2 years, 3 years. I knew that the Lord's judgment ain't slack, man. I knew the Lord's judgment ain't slack, and I'm real good at math. I'm not saying I know who the 144 elect is, but I know every 80 years it's been a disaster in the same place I'm walking in. I know that. I don't gotta be a fucking retard to know that. And it said that through counsel we make war. There's a war every 80 years. You know? That's perfect sense. War's coming. So I'm not gonna play around with that, man. You know? I'm not playing around with that. I made 300 some videos and was scared that I was going off and started the fuck over. Okay? Now I'm at 150 something. And I don't even think some of the times, most of the time I wasn't going off. It was just my spirit in it, the way I was teaching it. It was like, that's how it was going off. It was like I took out one important part of it that the Lord took. He didn't introduce it to me to keep in mind until after I had got rebuked. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking about we don't remember who we are. You know, but one of us on the earth, you know, is the people, man. Is the prophets, not me. Because how am I one of the prophets? I'm new, man. I'm not one of the prophets, man. I'm one of the servants. I'm one of the younger brothers. You know, the prophets is the elders and apostles, man. Because the end times started around the 1500s. You know, when the so-called white man was loose from his prison, and he would move for a short time. He said he would be loose and be able to go free for a short time, and this is what it looks like. America, Babylon the Great. Starting to get a little chilly out here. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna do Proverbs 24, verse 21. Okay. Proverbs 24, verse 21. My son, fear thou the Lord, Yahawashi, and the king, and meddle not with them that are given the change, for their calamity shall rise suddenly. And who shall knoweth the ruin of them both? These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect to persons in judgment. So that's what I'm saying. You're not supposed to say, oh well, you know, that person, you know, and that's talking about respect to persons is talking about outside the body of a Mashiach. Inside the body of a Mashiach, there's ranking. There's a respect to persons and ranking. Okay, the Lord gave certain apostles and elders ranking over others. Okay, depending on how He bring them into the truth, how long they've been in the truth. You know, that all this stuff varies. Now it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit. I'm feeling some moisture. I'm going to read one more. We're going to close out. Psalms 2 verse 11. We're going to close out. So I got a little bit of walking to do before I get to where I'm at. I don't want the books and stuff to get wet. Psalms 2 verse 11. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they froward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the God of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous to the best of their abilities, because we can't go all the way perfect. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressor shall be rooted out of it. So that's why you're supposed to sin less and keep going to where you're not sinning no more. Because there can be a time, there can be a point where you don't sin no more. You know? There can be. But like, let's say, like it's the Passover, you got to go to work. That's basically a transgression of the law. But the Lord understands that because we're in our captivity. You know? But if you just going and smoking weed every day and not trying to change, because, you know, I used to be a weed smoker. I used to do all that. You know? I've changed from that, man. I've changed from that. You know? There's plenty of things I used to do. I used to eat pork, I used to eat pepperoni, I used to do all that stuff. But as soon as I found out, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that stuff, I stopped. Sometimes it's harder for others, but like, just like one of the elders of GMS South Carolina, he said something about there's going to be even obese people that are saved. You know? It's not about what you look like. It's about if the Lord chose you. You know, we're going to be all different types of people from all different walks who are sinners in different ways, depending on what the Lord, how the Lord make them err. But it's the ones who are clinging back to Him and trying their best is the ones He's going to have mercy on, and that's what we hope. We hope that He'll have mercy on us for what we did in the past, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that may be. You know? So we're going to close out right there. Face the east. Give all praises to Barak Yahawah. Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth. And in faith and sincerity, we're going to keep going through the walk, Lord willing. He spares us in that time. Lord willing, we part of the hopeful elect. Or Lord willing, we part of the elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. And Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5 and does not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9. Got to give all praise to Yahawashi, man. Double honors to the elders and apostles, man. The great millstone led me to this truth. And through hail, storm, shine, snow, whatever, we're going to serve Yahawashi. Whether they lock us up, kill us, chop our heads off, whatever, we're going to keep going. Shalom.